And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semi-finals of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 90 weeks of STC of Tuna Cup action back to back. But we are here. We are back with our top four. We have our Terran versus Protoss. And spawning in the right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player from Lena, Poland, representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into this. Coming into this, of course, ByuN is going to be favored. He is the #1 seed of the tournament, but we have seen Gerald take it to ByuN. I am reminded of last week. I'm reminded of the Tenacious Turtle tussle, even when Gerald went up against ByuN when they faced off in their series in their, I believe it was semis or if not grand finals. Yeah, it was grand finals between ByuN and Gerald, and they had a banger of a match on El Dorado. Of course, that was now a lifetime ago, a week, crazy, and that's long enough for it to be in a different map pool. Again, there's no El Dorado here, not anymore, but we have a fresh new map pool instead, and we'll see how our players do compare. I do rate Gerald quite highly when it comes to a longer and later game. If we can get into the mid game, into the late game, then Gerald, he can pop off. We'll see if he can survive that long. We'll see if he can get there to that point against ByuN. For now, economic opener. We have a single gas Rax expand on the low ground. Gerald, he's here to be as annoying as possible. He will force one SCV down to the low ground as well, but this will merely just disrupt some of the opener and does delay the CC for like a second or two. Does nice and mining, pulls away. From here we can settle in. The Marine has arrived. We do see ByuN going for his own factory follow-up. Likewise, Gerald back at home going for his own setup as well. Just Gates Hyper expand, nothing crazy out of Gerald, just some more economic start out of ByuN, and this can lead into some more aggression in the mid game. We can head into some drop plays, some Hellion aggression, some Hellion harass. We did skip the Reapers initially. We might go for one Hellion just for scouting, bearing in mind that ByuN has not seen anything across the map, no SCV scout, no Reaper scouts, so typically we rely on the Hellion. Speaking of, there it is. So one Hellion, and it should only be one. And again, as we mentioned, the purpose of this first Hellion for ByuN is just for scouting. Ideally, it just suicides into the bases to try to figure out if it's a Stargate, a Twilight Council, or a Robo. That's typically the case. As the first Hellion has arrived, dancing with the Adept. Oh, gonna be zoned away. So we get a couple of shots off. Likewise, Stalker does arrive, zoning back that Hellion. Go for the Marines. Gets one. The Hellion is being targeted down. One shot away from going down. And with that, ByuN, he's being contained. He's being contained here, bleeding out two Marines. Almost losing the Hellion. Oh no! Oh, Hellion overextends, and the Hellion goes down. Aye. We have another backup Hellion, a third Hellion on the way, medevac as well. Behind this, Gerald going into Blink, going for a Twilight Council opener, two more gates on the way, going into 3-gate Blink. And so far, still containing ByuN. So far, so good. Hallucination attempts to scout. Does get eyes on both Hellions. And can assume drop play. Yeah, from here, Gerald, he pulls away. Again, seeing a commitment into extra Hellion, screams drop harass, and speaking of, there it is, Hellion drop across the map. You see Gerald setting up for a third. Did open up 3-gate Blink into set third base. No Robo. No other tech. ByuN does boost in. Boosting into the bases, Hellions do drop, and they will get a full scout. They do confirm the Twilight Council, and they can 2-shot probes. With the shield battery, they have to 3-shot though. One probe goes down. ByuN does attempt to boost away, getting one extra worker. Oh, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. ByuN, he gets one probe for what? For 2 Hellions and a medic. Or a medevac even. Aye. ByuN just getting a little bit too greedy towards the end. That will cost him everything here. The Hellions don't matter as much, but the medevac does. So a better start, a stronger start for Gerald. He does secure himself back at home. Meanwhile, ByuN likewise setting up as well, going to his own 3-1-1 setup, going for some Raven harass as a follow-up, building up his bio, his tank count. For the time being, ByuN should be stuck at home, but something that ByuN is very fond of, which he might no longer go for because he lost the medevac, is to go for a 2-tank push. To wait for 2 tanks and to move out pre-stim. We'll see if he goes for the unsiege. For now, he's setting up. Oh, the Raven got intercepted. Yo, Gerald, calm down. Like, okay, Gerald, he's crazy. Oh my god. Shuts down the Hellion drop, shuts down the Raven, likewise moves out across the map, and ByuN, he is contained. He cannot even think about a move out. He's stuck on 2 bases, and Gerald, he's cutting corners. This is risky here, but instead of going for a Robo, instead of going for Observers, Colossus, Safety, Immortal, he is rushing into Storm. Likewise, ooh, pokes in. Gets eyes on the setup. 3rd CC is on the way. And Gerald, he does spot the command center. Upon seeing the 3rd CC, he knows that he's safe. Like, he knows he's perfectly safe to indulge in these bases and to indulge in this tech, to saturate his 3rd. He knows that ByuN, he can't really threaten him. He can move out, yes, but he's not going for any kind of all-in. And Gerald, he's here to delay. Oh, tanks, they get within range. They get a Stalker, not bad. 1 Stalker goes down. Gerald has to pull back. Storm is now complete. Gerald, she's checking for the army. Medevacs have arrived. Stim is almost done. Gerald, he does not have charge. Uh-oh. I think that's a bit of an oversight here from Gerald. No charge. These are just slow lots. I don't think this is intentional. Well, we've seen this before. But yeah, the slow lots are moving in. He's warping in more slow lots. If he had charge, he can shut this down. But things are looking a little bit dire here. When does he notice? When does he notice? No. Like, he has the money for it. He had the money. There we go. Charge does begin. Very late. Oh. Drop moving out. And a full medevac does not fall. Whew. Clutch moves there by ByuN. Pulls away in time. Does pull away. Storm gets spent. 1 Templar goes down. But again, ideally, Gerald, he would have liked to have engaged ahead of time. Now he's stuck here back at home. He's still waiting for charge. Like, charge is so heavily delayed. It's so late. And now ByuN is able to freely just get his base up and running. If we had charge, then Gerald could be going for a Zealot run by, a counter attack, setting up a surround. For now, Gerald, he's stuck just being defensive and passive. Takes down the Widowmine. ByuN gaining ground. Pushing past the halfway mark. Yes, the slow lots are slow. Ah, no. Not like this. Speaking of, the slow lot run by, let's go. As charge is not yet done. Yeah, slow lots are cleaned up. There we go, charge now kicks in. Gerald not quite engaging, not yet. Storm spent on the Widowmine. Another Storm on a bit of bio. Nothing major, nothing yet. But ByuN, upon seeing all those zealots, he knows not to move in. Like, ByuN, he should not commit. He should not commit. He's just gonna expand. Yeah, taking a 4th base. He's turtling up back at home. Any kind of timing the Gerald wanted to hit with Storm, he's not gonna hit it. I mean, it's already come and gone at this point. No longer a surprise factor. Has to take a 4th base. Now a 5th base. Robo's on the way. Bay's on the way. We are building up towards a longer and later game. We're embracing the mid game here. Both players are looking to max out. And these tanks are looking exposed. The army lagging behind, but here we go now. ByuN has ghosts. He has EMPs. Tanks do siege. Massive Zealot run by moving out on the right hand side. Sorry, gets spotted. Keen eyes by ByuN. Gerald's likewise moving out on both ends. Zalty does run into the main or into one of the armies. Storm coming in as well. Nice EMP, but here comes the Storm. Yeah, nice Storm in the mineral line. Does break through. Zalty trading well. Gerald at the same time pushing in. As Gerald pulls away for the time being. Does want to throw away those Zealots. Does pull away. Likewise, ByuN attempts his own run by. Gets cleaned up. And I believe the army on the left-hand side hasn't been spotted. Only by the Widow Mine.
Base is under attack.
Only by the mine. Yeah, ByuN not quite expecting it. Here comes Gerald. Does catch a couple of transferring workers. Not bad. Some nice little pickups. Depot goes down. Gerald, he has gained map control. He's maxed. Likewise, to drop into the mineral line. Yeah, going for the storm drop. Not many SCVs to pick off. Ooh, as one Eye Templar goes down to the prism. Another storm. 13 SCV kills. Not bad. That was expensive though. Let's go now working towards disruptors. No Colossus. We get a couple feedbacks. Another feedback towards the end. Oh my god, ByuN, he spots that so quickly. Spots the observer, does snipe. ByuN also maxed out. Gerald still needs some more time for disruptors. Yeah, Gerald, he's vulnerable here. Has to be careful. Pops up with another storm, but he's running out of zealots. Okay, reinforcements have arrived. Disruptors, they join the main army. Gerald, he can push in. Holds on to the Nova. Oh, does not connect. Yeah, clutch lift. ByuN, he now secures his fourth base. Scans, sees the army. See the army. Oh, Archon gets left behind. Nova does punish, not bad. Doesn't save the Archon. So you see ByuN, sorry, Gerald once again pushing forward. A lot of this comes down to the Novas, and they do connect. Not bad. Yeah, the main army with this army on the left-hand side does go down. ByuN has to respond with everything else. Let's pull away. Does rotate. ByuN still being contained. Now, at this point, this is where gas is going to be taken, and we should be seeing like a Skytoss transition. Or extra robos. How many robos are we on? 2. 2 robos is okay. Getting a 3rd robo would be safer. Likewise, we could see a Stargate, a fleet beacon. Not just making 2 disruptors at a time. Like, even though right now Gerald has almost every base on the map, ByuN can still take fights. ByuN still has a more efficient army. That's the reality here. Speaking of massive EMP, and he does catch out an Archon. Takes down 2 more Head Templar, takes him over to the face. But Gerald has to get the hell out of here. Has to pull back. Zelrama moving in. SimCity here is solid. Zel's like clean the Widow Mines, they pull away. There's no follow-up tech yet. That is a little bit concerning. Considering that ByuN is now getting into and gaining access to his Liberators, Nova goes off. Oh, the Novas don't quite connect, but the Storm does. Storm connects. Let's have another Storm in the chamber. Picks off 2 Vikings. There we go. Now we get the Fleet Beat. Sorry, the Stargate. I will say that the Stargate is late, but at least it's on the way. And that can lead into, again, Skytoss. Or at least into a mothership, at least. That's also dealt with. Oh, all these elves are going to go down. Yeah, not the best trade from Gerald. He responds with his entire army. Oh, the High Templar, no! The Templar gets one. Gets two. Two White Templar go down. Every Zelda as well. And rough loss there for Gerald. Dragging the army in, coming in from behind, going for the Medivacs. And he should be able to snipe this army, but he trades out a lot of gas units. It does bleed out some Stalkers, bleeds out two High Templar, does get two Ghosts. ByuN now moving in, again making 4 Liberators at a time. Another High Templar goes down. There's a zone. ByuN is getting ready for his own dive. Gerald trying to read the army movement. Pulls away. Does escape. Whew, again, that was a very tense moment. Yeah, Gerald has to knock down these rocks. ByuN is moving in. Gerald, he's aware he just got scanned. Is aware. A very intense army movement here from our players. We have a Void Ray. Right. Void Ray's on the way. No fleet beacon yet, which is concerning. Or at least no third robo. Nova's going off. Decent, very nice connections. Takes down the Ghosts. Ghosts go down. Liberation has arrived. Gerald's rotating over. Oh, good. And again, when the Liberator count gets this high, a ground army doesn't cut it. Or I should say, it's just very difficult to make a ground army work. You have to rely on that positioning. Speaking of, he gets 1 Liberator. Gets 1 so far. Oh, good. As Disruptor's getting punished, 1 Disruptor goes down, he gets 1, he gets up to almost 2. But typically, when the Liberator count gets too high, you need Tempest. And that's where the Skytoss transition would come into play. It's not there, though. It's not quite there. He only has the Stargate, and the Stargate is exposed. There's a recall. Does recall over. Oh, then the Void Ray. Does survive. And this army can still work for Gerald. It just doesn't have too much longevity here. Like, as the game progresses and as ByuN gets a 5th base, like now he's on a 5 base economy, which is insane. A massive EMP takes down the Disruptors. 1, 2, 3 Disruptors go down. Some Novas do connect, but this is a better fight for ByuN. Yeah, ByuN, he overwhelmed. And this is where only having 2 Robos is detrimental. You can only make 2 Disruptors at a time. We needed a 3rd Robo. And you can see Gerald, he plummets in supply. He has to rebuild as quickly as possible. DTs, they hit the Planetary. 1 more volley, and he does get it. Not bad. Gets a Planetary, but again, Gerald, he's down 60 supply. Like, he has to rebuild so fast. And the lack of Robos is hurting him. Now he knows. Now he realizes 2 more Robos on the way. This was needed like 5 minutes ago. EMPs, they pop off. This base is going to go down. Gerald, he cannot engage. He's going to go for it, though. He's going to bleed out a lot of Zealots in the process. Stalkers, they blink away. You're now going for the Ghost. Not bad. Zealot reinforcements. They get on top of the Ghost. Oh, no detection. No. The Ghost cloak. Yeah, the Ghost, they cloak in time to save themselves. Now it goes off. Gets 1 more. Yeah, messy fight here from Gerald. I mean, from both players. Scott does pull away. He saves the expansion. Does save the base. No mining whatsoever here towards the bottom side. And again, this is where Skytoss helps deal with this, but there is no Skytoss. There's 1 Void Ray on the way. And Gerald's in trouble. What's important as well is that Gerald doesn't have a bank. He has a bank, quote unquote. He has a mineral bank. He has no gas bank. So he can't really afford any of these more higher tech units anymore. He can warp in with Zealots. He can reinforce with Zealots. That's true. He can do that for days. But replacing Disruptors, replacing High Templar, replacing Stalkers, like, that's more difficult. Nice EMP, loses the Disruptor. Disruptor goes down. Base falls. Gerald just brute forcing his way through. It's not pretty, but he does break through those Liberators. Never goes up. Up! Takes down the Ghost, not bad. Yeah, 2, 3, 4 Ghosts going down. A better catch here from Gerald. ByuN did overextend. It took down the base at the cost of, what, 6 Ghosts. Whew. Gerald has a comparable army. ByuN taking a 6th expansion. Oh, good. Gerald can't let that base get up and running. At the same time, he has yet to notice. Gerald does pull away. Gerald said to hit the planetary. Is that going to be enough though? Gerald, he panics. A couple of Novas do connect. But the rapid fire Novas. Base goes down. Gerald, he's holding on. He's holding on, takes down the expansion, takes down the mineral line. Now ByuN is the person that's lacking gas here. ByuN, he did bleed out a little Ghost earlier. Again, Ghost is something you have to, like, we've been focusing a lot on Geralt and his own production, his own army composition. ByuN, replacing Ghost, that's also very expensive. Again, losing those 6 Ghosts earlier, it hurts. ByuN down to 5 Ghosts. ByuN rotates. Oh no! A bit of a miss rally. 1, 2, 3, 4 disruptors for free. Ay. The losses that we can't quite necessarily afford. 6th base is denied. Now we're going into Colossus. Interesting. I mean, there are no Vikings, true. No Vikings, so Colossus, they have their place here, but I mean, they still has to deal with all those liberation zones. As ByuN is remaxed. And ByuN, he has been able to remax, and ByuN has to hold on to that expansion. They'll run by. Ooh, we'll try to burn down that center tower. Ella gets a Ghost. Takes down one of the Ghosts. Colossus are on the way. See Gerald looking for a way in. Has to be careful. ByuN trying to fast forward. Nova goes off, takes down 3. Yeah, it does catch 3 full NG Ghosts for 1 disruptor. Did I say 1 disruptor? Losing all 3 disruptors actually. 3 disruptors go down. DTs, they do hit the mineral line. Recalling back home. Gerald being as efficient as possible. Meanwhile, Gerald, he never quite saturated that bottom right-hand base. But that Void Ray put in a lot of work. Colossus are just now about to be revealed. And this Colossus switch can actually work wonders against the Bio army. Oh god, the EMPs are brutal though. EMPs are still insane. Colossus are exposed. And 1 Colossus does not go down, just barely. He's forcing his way in, takes down the Liberators, gets 1, gets 2. Colossus popping up. Looking for another Liberator. Yeah, takes down 3 Liberators. Nice Storm! Another Liberator goes down. Storm in the mineral line. Nova's going off as well. Planetary focusing down the disruptors. The base does fall at the same time. ByuN takes down top left. Recalls on cooldown. Storms are defending. At least trying to buy time. Geralt, he's racing on over. And another base goes down. Gerald's no mining, by the way. He needs an economy. He's down to 1 base. Down to 1 base, coming in for the surround. Gerald caught out in the open. Yeah, reinforcements have arrived. Disruptors are exposed. Colossus as well. And the surround comes in. Oh, the Nova doesn't connect. Nova doesn't connect. ByuN collapsing in. Gonna be forced back. But those are expensive losses, losing all 3 Colossus and the Disruptors. And the High Templar. Only Zealous and a couple of Disruptors remaining. Gerald, oh, this is ambitious. He does not even have this base saturated. Where are the boys? Oh no, the rally's in. He will lose every single probe. 17 workers going down. Gerald, saturate the base. Oh no. As he's warping in 14 High Templar. Wait, what? What just happened? The rapid fire warping. Yeah, oh god. I don't know if that was quite intentional there. Likewise, he doesn't save any High Templar for Storm. So Gerald panicking a little bit. Does move in. How many EMPs? True. There are 5 ghosts. It's going to be at least 3. Nova is denied. Nova goes off. Nova's do not connect. And no major connections. Archons, they're doing what they can, but they don't trade amazing against ByuN. Yeah, they're being targeted down one after the other. Nice Storm. Storm connects. Gerald, he's holding on. He's taking the fight. He's chasing another ghost. He gets another ghost. There's 2 more left. Down to 1. 1 ghost remaining. Oh god, the panic novas. Oh my god. Bleeds out every single disruptor. Expensive loss there for Gerald. Overextending towards the end. Messy fights here from both players. But ByuN, he has a fresh mining base. The Mule Hammer has arrived. The Mjolnir, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Does mule it up. But Geralt, meanwhile, does get another fresh mining base himself. As again, Geralt, I mean, the disruptor count was reset. He has to rebuild his disruptors. He has no bank. ByuN, I think he's done it. Yeah, there's just we're just out of money. Like, Geralt, he's broke. He's broke at this point. He cannot afford anything else. Templar go down. GG gets called, and ByuN, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he will take the first game. But that was an intense back and forth. There were strong moments for both players. Strong moments for both ByuN and Gerald. And in the end, did barely go the way of ByuN. Again, Gerald, he just too many mistakes too quickly towards the end. Getting surrounded, getting caught out with his disruptors, getting caught out with the panic Archon warping as well. There was a lot transpiring there towards the end. And I just... in the end, GG. GG, well played. With that, ByuN takes the lead. Just barely. Just barely. And I'm hoping for the ace match, right? I'm hoping for a game 3 between ByuN and Gerald. I know we can get there, but the pressure is now on Gerald. Let's go. The pressure is on. As we are loading into Maganatha. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Maganatha, we have the Polish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Streamer Zone down in the series. We'll see if he bounce back, we'll see if he can recover and force the ace match. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. We go. ByuN does have a lead in the series, but we are loading into a much larger map. If we wanted to end up in that kind of game state again, I mean, it is more likely to get there, but it's a little bit different of a dynamic. Here, welcome to Maganatha, the largest map in this ladder map pool and tournament map pool as well. You don't get larger than Maganatha, but it isn't just how large the map is. There are a lot of bases, yes, but they are so spread out. This is not the equivalent to Abyssal Reef, for example, or even Neon-Violet Square, where the bases are a little bit more centralized, especially your first 4 and 5 bases. Here we have our natural, bam, over towards your 3rd base, over towards your 4th, over towards your 5th base, the 6th base way over towards the right. Like the 6th and 7th bases, they're out isolated as well in the central locations. We have potential gold bases, that is true, but these bases are so difficult to maintain. Likewise, we have rocks and towers all over the place as well. There are some decent choke points, that's true. There are some choke points that you can take advantage of, which can be a factor getting into the late game, and we might get there. I'm hoping we do. Hoping we can get to the late game. We'll see. For now, ooh, double gas. Never mind. A double gas opener out of ByuN. With this, ByuN going for a more aggressive start, going for a faster factory, into a faster starport, into a more tech-heavy beginning here for ByuN. And Geralt is aware. Geralt, he's aware. From here, we should be seeing a safe opener out of Geralt. He can open up Robo. He can open up 3-gate Blink. Should see one or the other. ByuN does move out. Likewise, nice jukes. He does bypass the Adept. Oh, that should not have happened. The Reaper does dive into the main. Will threaten the Scout. Is going to be zoned away, and I believe the Reaper does not get eyes on the tech, does not get eyes on the Twilight Council. Now, because the map is so large, it is not unlikely that we could be seeing a Stargate opener. So Stargate play is more viable on a map like Maganatha. Likewise, if ByuN was playing against Creator, we might see a Robo opener as well. But alas, ByuN does pull away and is not fully aware of what's going on. Not yet. Moving out with his Reaper. This Reaper, likewise, drop is moving out as well from the side of ByuN, going for a Widowmine Marine drop here towards the main. Reaper does distract, gets a probe. Takes down a worker. Behind this 1-1-1. Raven follow-up into tank production. Gerald, he's not quite in position here. He has one Stalker in the main base, one Stalker at the natural. He has Mowgli centralized army at the third. And drop comes in. Does dive in, forcing a recall. Recall gets forced. Widowmine does burrow, and what do we get? Oh, he wants a Stalker, and we'll get one. Nice pickoff. Can he save the Widowmine? Not quite. Widowmine goes down. But ByuN does pull away. Reaper does check, does confirm the third base. Getting another probe. Impressive 3 probe kills so far, and he gets away as well to get another worker. Aye, aye, aye. Reaper does pull out. And from here, we're settling into the mid game, right? We're settling in towards a 3-base economy. Gerald getting his, ByuN working on his own eventual 3rd TC. But so far, a better start for ByuN, as he has picked off 3 workers, a Stalker, an Adept for 2 Widowmines. He also got a full scout as well. He knows that he is safe. ByuN is aware. And Gerald, he's somewhat posturing, but he's not committing. Again, Gerald, he's expanding, he's taking. Once again, we do see that, at least this time, Gerald, he doesn't forget charge. So charge is on time. But Gerald, he's likewise working towards Storm. So Temple Archives into Storm, Forge into +1. Similar to the previous game. As Reaper finally goes down at the almost 6-minute mark. And as Gerald deals with the Reaper, ByuN once again does go for another drop. Again, the map is so large, it's so difficult to keep up with this drop play. There are no spotter pylons, no observers on the map either. Bearing in mind there's no robo. Because of the rush into Storm, there's no robo, so there's no potential for observers either. Gerald's relying on the Zelnagas for now. Stalkers are outside of the main. And I believe a recall is going to be available. Assuming we have the energy for it, which we do. One probe goes down. Feedback on the Raven. Drop into the main. Okay, there is a reactive warp in. And a recall as well. Oof. As ByuN does break out. Again, Gerald, he's in a bit of trouble here. Now, as ByuN moves out, he's expanding behind this, so it's not an all-in. He's expanding, getting a 3rd TC. His drop is going to be keeping some supply busy in the main. While ByuN does push towards the left-hand side. As Zelnaga, he is set up. ByuN, yeah, he baits out the Zealots. He's got a couple of tank shots off. Still moving in. And there's going to be, what, 2 Storms? More than that. So we've got 3 storms available. Drop going for the 4th. Oh! Tank always popping up. Ah, that's a kill, not a cancel. Oh, that should not have happened. The 5th base goes down. Gerald, he's hurting. Still just trying to keep up with ByuN. Likewise, drop still keeping Gerald busy. Does keep him busy. Likewise, it gets a couple of probes here with the auto turrets. We're trying to keep up. And from here, ByuN is secure. ByuN, he's secure on the 3 bases. Likewise, has that supply lead. How many High Templar are there? 4 High Templar. Going for a massive warp in. Gerald is going to take the fight. Oh. Does come in. Oh my god, Jesus, those rocks are so... Tower not quite knocked down yet. Yeah, Gerald does reinforce with those High Templar. Meanwhile, more probes going down to the auto turrets. Still looking for a way in. Behind this, it should be, yep, expanding, getting a 5th. Checks for a 4th. He has Zelts on the right, Zelts on the left. Does get a CV. It's willing to get a couple more. Go to SCVs going down. Here, Gerald does pull away, and we are working towards a longer game state. Now, ByuN is going to be the first to max, but Gerald, if given time, he can also catch up, right? He's got a Templar to zone away. He's going for his Robo production. I believe this is late. Yeah, this is actually quite late. So late Robo, so later Bay, later Disruptors. It is concerning here. There's going to be a window in time where Gerald is vulnerable. And ByuN could end the game before Gerald can max out, and before we can really embrace like a max out army. That late game. ByuN is still being active. The Robo is complete. We need that Bay. There it is. Bay has been thrown down. And a second Robo alongside it. So Gerald needs a little bit more time. Both armies are maxed, but again, Gerald is very heavily reliant on a Zealot composition. He has 37 Zealots. And they're amazing when it comes to run-bys. And they can clean up some armies here if they can avoid those EMPs. Again, plenty of EMPs available. ByuN moving in. Gerald's coming in from behind, trying to collapse on ByuN, going for the ghost. Does take an EMP to the face. Storms do flank. And here come the flanking storms. Oh, the rocks that get knocked down. EMPs on the High Templar. Nice moves here by ByuN. We'll take one storm to the face. One ghost does fall. Again, he can't collapse in. Forcing another storm. We can see Gerald mass expanding, taking all these bases. But the quality of the army is still lacking. Like, it's still very Zealot heavy. And Gerald is relying on these storms to connect. Oh, storm zones. Storm zones away. ByuN takes the storm to the face. Takes the second storm as well. I believe there's one more storm in the chamber. Gerald does go for another Zealot round by. Here we go. Disruptor production has finally begun. I'm still not too fond of the idea of just having 2 Robos at the moment. Hopefully we see more Robos being thrown down soon. as we are reaching that kind of game state. And we saw last game that Gerald, he did suffer quite heavily when he delayed his 3rd and 4th robo after he took a bad fight. Meanwhile, ByuN working on the fusion core, getting into Liberator production. Takes down the Raven, not bad. Zell say threaten the mineral line, but ByuN, he's ready. He's ready for this. Takes down the charge lots. More disruptors building up. ByuN taking the center expansion. And ByuN has still just been refining his army. Being active, he does find top right. And this is the big thing about Magnatha, more so than Ultralove that we did mention, is at the start of the game, is just how spread out these bases are. These bases, they are so spread out and so isolated from each other. Without recalls and without static defense to buy time, it's so difficult to keep up with these rotations. Whether it's recalls, whether it's static defense, whether it's vision as well, observers, water pylons. Oh, nice, very nice Nova. Oh my god. Nova connects. Recall towards the sub side. There's the update. There it is. Seven ghosts? That was 7 ghosts going down to the Nova. Not bad. That was a brutal Nova to the face. Down to soon to be 8 ghosts. Went down to 3 initially. Gerald's moving in. Liberation has arrived. Going for the center expand. I believe there's no way to deal with this outside of having Skytoss, or at least coming from behind with Stalkers. Gerald is looking for a way in. Brutally impedes. They'll say 2 big EMPs to the face. Gerald, there's that stack defense right now, walls, cannons, and shield batteries. And again, this stack defense is not designed to kill or not designed to deal with drops, so it's just designed to buy time. To buy time for Gerald to warp in or to respond with his army. To recall. That's all it's there for. So it never goes off. It gets a ghost. Takes down 1. Stargate now on the way. Again, imagine Tempest. I mean, the problem with Imagine Tempest is that there's already Vikings. There's already Vikings out. ByuN is somewhat prepared for that kind of game state. Oh! Once again! Gets 3 more ghosts. Not bad. 3 more ghost kills. Zelsa get on top of the tank. Now the Nova zones away. And again, it's just a battle of attrition here. Just being able to outtrade your opponent. Speaking of, I'll pick up. This time saves the ghost. More liberation is setting up. Gerald's going for a massive Dark Templar warp in. Let's go. We have 11 DTs warping in. The goal here to snipe the expansion. Speaking of the Invisible Man, they just they go past each other. Going for the nuke. Nuke bottom left. DTs, oh, they are denied. And the nuke will work to clear this up. Even get the High Templar, not bad. Templar goes down. Oh, actually, it destroyed the tower. Destroyed the tower. Knocked it down. Nice catch with the Dark Templar. Very nice. Takes down a ghost. Void Rage dealt with. Again, Gerald, it doesn't seem like he's too fond of Skytoss, but so far he's doing well without it. I was gonna say that he's gonna have to like embrace that Skytoss he wants to do with some of these Liberators, but he's holding his own. He's never going to be able to mine from this base, but he's holding his own nonetheless. Oh, as bottom left is going to fall. There's a storm to buy some time, but there's no saving this. And no saving the expansion. Gerald forcing his way up the ramp. Gets punished. Novas do not connect. As Gerald, he's rotating. He rotates over. Another expansion going down. Oh! DT's going for the blink. Stalker shot behind. Nicely done. Saves the base. Rotation working well. Catching out Medivacs. Not bad. Gerald's rotating over. Oh! Nice EMP on the disruptors. We attempt this around, but he will take some Novas to the face. Novas are connecting. Gerald panicking a little bit, but does keep pushing. ByuN does plummet in supply. Doesn't have much to work with. Will slow down once again. Once again, the void ray is dealt with. But based on the map control that Gerald has, ByuN shouldn't be able to expand. Taking a 6th base from here shouldn't be possible, as ByuN is attempting to take this expansion, but it's a lot more exposed, a lot more out in the open. Gerald, he spots the base. And Gerald, he should be rotating to stop that expansion. As also warping in. Tower gets knocked down. But we need disruptors, we need spellcasters. Gerald, he still doesn't budge. There we go, there's the recall. Does recall over. And it comes down to this. It comes down to this area, this location. Can ByuN maintain? Oh, he goes to the dive! Oh, this I'm not so sure about. Blinks in, he's crazy. Knocking down the tower. Looking for another way in. So far, not finding one. Oh! As they clip the army. Such a nice storm on the Vikings. But again, that's a lot of freedom. And again, it's typically here where Tempest can do a great job here of breaking the siege or breaking this contain. Breaking this defense, I should say. Oh, not bad. Catching out some of these Liberators. Gets 1, 2, 3 Liberators. ByuN out of position. Gerald doing a great job here at rotating. And outmaneuvering ByuN. So far, so good. You can see ByuN trying to wall off. Meanwhile, getting another 3 more Liberators. Novas, they connect. And on the one hand, these are, in a way, some inefficient trades here from Gerald's bleeding out Stalkers, bleeding out Disruptors, but he has a better economy. He can afford this. Like, the goal here, even if it's inefficient, he has to break this location. He has to make sure that ByuN doesn't secure himself here. Gets another one, gets another 2 Liberators. So far, so good. Novas popping off, catching out more Ghosts. Rotates once again. There's what, 4 Liberators here? It's 4 Libs. Getting up to 6. Doesn't quite trade too well towards the end. I feel like knocking down these rocks would make things easier for for Gerald. I guess another Liberator, not bad. Oh, Novas! 2 ghosts. Takes down 2 ghosts. Once again, Gerald rotating. ByuN stims in. He does catch him out. Getting 1, 2, 3 disruptors. Yeah, Gerald is focusing on his stalkers, bottom left. So as Gerald was distracted, bleeds out a lot of disruptors. Meanwhile, the planetaries are now done. Uh-oh. Planetaries are complete. Gerald, he has to keep trading, but he's slowing down because he lost all those disruptors. So Gerald slows down, and ByuN now trying to secure himself even further. Oh, stims in. And gets another disruptor. Another disruptor goes down. Cleans up all the zealots, trading with the stalkers. Better trades here for ByuN. And disruptors are just now coming in. Still only 2 robot. I mean, we said this last year. Oh my god. Very nice connection towards the end, but once again, only 2 robos for Gerald, so it takes even longer to rebuild those disruptors whenever a trade like that happens. Gerald going for the gold. Going for the gold base. Plan series done. Nice nervous. Rush get knocked down. ByuN getting caught out in the open here. Despite that, gets a disruptor. ByuN pulls away. And at this one, I feel like Gerald, he has failed to break this position. ByuN, he succeeded in expanding, taking another base. He has secured himself. Did bleed out a lot of units in the process, which has kept his bank low. So Gerald has that going for him at least. As ByuN, he breaks out. Yeah, Gerald, he's on the other half of the map, so the base is denied. Ooh, and ByuN, no shot can he take the gold. That would be brutal. He's long distance mining. Like, the style that Gerald's been going for is designed to break bases and to, like, pull the Terran player apart. And there have been some moments where he's been able to achieve that against ByuN. But merely only moments. Oh, nice storm. Very, very nice storms. Jesus. Clem, calm down. Get out of the storms. Gerald takes a better fight. Takes out, what, 3, 4, 5 ghosts? Oh my god, taking out almost every single ghost here. Yeah, all the ghosts do go down. Massive pickups. Base is denied. That's how many? There was 5. There was 5 ghosts going down. Likewise, Liberators are facing the wrong way. Now repositioning. Oh, we have a Tempest. Let's go. Making 1 Tempest. Oh, as Gerald does push in. Gerald almost surrounded. Here, Gerald pulls away. Liberators still getting 7 probe kills. More Liberation pulling him back. It looks like Gerald finally accepted, like, his fate a little bit here, as he's making more Tempest. Oh god, the disruptors once again, they're targeted down. That's what, 5 disruptors? 8! Oh god. 8 disruptor kills. I don't know how long it takes for Gerald to rebuild them. That's another final disruptor goes down. Yeah, and Gerald just being bullied back. Without disruptors and without storm, I mean, ByuN can just stim. He can just stim in. Liberation is set up. Dragging the army into the liberation zones. More liberators arriving, and oh god, get out of here. He blinks in, he gets punished. Get away, there's too much freedom, baby. It's too much. Oh, nice storm. Nice storm towards the end, but Gerald T plummets in supply. ByuN takes the fight. And Gerald's in trouble here. Is in trouble, has to pull away. And even though Gerald has a bank, it may not matter. Like, it's about how quickly you can rebuild. That's why we were emphasizing earlier and why it is so important and so crucial to build up your production. For moments like this, when yes, Gerald, he has almost a 10k bank, but it takes so long to spend his money. As ByuN sims in, he punishes all these stalkers. They go down one after the other. Getting on top of the Vikings as well, on top of the Tempest even. Nice storm towards the end. ByuN is being forced back, but these are still just brutal losses for Gerald. Getting on top of the Ghost though. The army's overstimmed. ByuN is overstimmed. Mothership is on the way. Yo, let's go 14 High Templar. We've been here before. Going into the Mass Archon. Now, unlike last time when we saw the 14 Archon warp in, oh sorry, the 14 High Templar warp in, there was like 5 ghosts already. Here, there's only 1. There's only 1 ghost, so this Archon reinforcement line, I feel like he can do well. Better than game 1. But we'll see. The armies do rotate. That one Liberator still popping off. Gerald long distance mining. ByuN spots it. They do trade locations. As it is a kill. Nice Gerald moving in. Does push towards the south side. Gets into the mineral line, bearing in mind that ByuN doesn't really have much of a bank to work with. He needs to maintain these bases to keep up. That's EMP. EMP connects. Gerald, given time, he will be able to remax. ByuN getting a fresh gold. At least trying to. Forward. Does catch out one of the ghosts. Down to 1 Tempest. ByuN stims in. Does sim forward, no storms to punish. But Vikings are getting low. The Archons, they do a great job here. They punish those Vikings. To punish Novas, they connect, and ByuN, oh god, this is his final army here. ByuN losing everything, taking all the Novas to the face. It is a messy fight, but Gerald, he will take it. He will take it. Mass feedbacks. ByuN plummeting in supply here, and again, ByuN has no bank. He has no money. He has no economy. GG gets called. Whew. And Gerald, he will take game number 2, tying up the series 1-1. GG. Hi. GG, well played. Gerald, he will tie things up again. A very intense back and forth here. Despite ByuN claiming that center goal base, didn't get it properly up and running, properly saturated. He wasn't able to really make use of it in the end. As, of course, did take a brutal fight and things escalated very quickly. GG. GG, well played. With that, Gerald, he will tie things up and we are going to the ace match. Let's go. We're going to game 5. Sorry, game 3. And we'll see how the story ends. As game 3, we're going for some of the larger maps into some of the more smaller maps. Now, Ultra Love is a smaller map, but Ultra Love is hyper defensive just because of all the choke points and all the ramps. So we got into a late game in Ultra Love, we got into a late game, of course, on Maganatha, but now we're loading into Persephone. And late game on Persephone is a rare sight, just because the map is so small. The map is so congested. This favors aggressive play. And that's where I have to favor ByuN. Like, if Gerald can get into the mid game and get into the late game, like even in game 1, I was favoring Gerald. Like, I could see Gerald taking the series 2-0. If game 1 had gone slightly more in favor of Gerald, I can definitely see him winning that game. But here, this is a different dynamic that we should be embracing coming into Persephone. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran, representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the Polish Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. Here we go. What is the high Templar amount? The highest of Templars. Oh no. Ay, ay, ay. Here we go. We're getting into the ace match, and we'll see how this story ends. Again, this could still go either way, but coming into a smaller map like this is where ByuN can really thrive when it comes to these more aggressive builds and aggressive styles. Welcome one and all to Persephone. Persephone has a shorter rush distance by ground, likewise also has less bases, and also has a shorter rush distance by air as well. When it comes to the bases themselves, we do have some more secure locations, but in general, a lot of them a lot more exposed. And again, you can be more aggressive and more assertive on Persephone. Let's go. Let us go. Meanwhile, it looks like we have some other updates. We'll be going over them after this series as we look to embrace that lower semifinals. But it is ready. Lower semifinals is ready for us. We'll get there eventually. We'll get there. So now we're calming down. We do have a more economic start by ByuN going Rax Expand. Likewise, Gerald's going for his own Gate Cyber Expand as well. We're slowing things down. Whew, taking a breath. We're calming down. Calming down. So do get into Persephone. And again, what I appreciate about that last game as well, I mean, both Game 1 and Game 2, is that even though these were longer and later games, as opposed to the previous map pool, these larger maps, like Maganatha, for example, even though they are large, the bases aren't necessarily as easy to defend as on Abyssal Reef or Neoviolet Square or King's Cove, for example. We saw a lot of aggression, we saw a lot of opportunities, a lot of openings for Gerald to rotate between the bases, to catch out Liberators, to catch out some of the bio. It was not the easiest for ByuN to secure himself on those bases. He got there eventually when it came to his 6-base economy, but it did take a lot of efforts, and as a result, ByuN, he couldn't accumulate his own bank, right? Like, he was constantly trading, constantly fighting, of course, bleeding out units the entire time. Which is how a lot of these maps work in the current map pool, is that even though there are larger maps, they're not necessarily turtley maps. There is a difference. None of them is defensive. Meanwhile, Hellions, oh my god, Hellion does get into the mineral line. So far, gets 2, gets 3. Gonna get up to 4. Can we get up to 5? Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Gerald's otherwise distracted. I mean, so are we. 4 probes go down, and the Hellion does slip away. And it was only a single Hellion, by the way. It was 3 Marines back at home to defend that were cleaned up. Hellion finally goes down, drop towards the left-hand side, heading towards the main. And we'll see if Gerald can keep up. Getting a proxy pylon across the map to warp in. Gerald, he will barely miss the drop. And I believe recall was just used. Yeah, recall's on cooldown. Gerald's out of position. Drop into the main. There's 1 stalker to defend. And probes are being targeted. This is getting out of hand already. Getting up to 5 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. Gerald, he's racing back home. Going for the pylon. No shot, not like this. Mind shot goes off, the pylon is gonna fall, depowers the Twilight Council, delays Blink. And we spoke about it in the lead up to this game. Persephone is a more aggressive map, shorter rush distance by ground, by air as well. Aggression is more impactful on Persephone. And Gerald having a much rougher start to the game. He's committing, he's going for the proxy Dark Shrine. This is a Hail Mary play. This is very much so very it's a very much so a Hail Mary play. Now the goal here and the hope, the dream, is that ByuN mules. If ByuN mules, then these ECs they can waddle in. Likewise goal-based. Jesus, Gerald, he's doing whatever he can. He knows he's behind. Like Gerald, he knows he's behind at this point. He knows that he's had a really rough start. He's rushing to the gold and rushing into DTs, doing whatever he can to recover in this game. Oh, good. Nice dodge. Nice dodge. Dark Shrine is almost done. All right, what do we have? We have one scan at the net. We're holding on to minerals. We're holding on to energy here. The medevac, no, he scouts, he checks, and he will confirm. He finds the Dark Shrine, which means he will not mule. No. He will not mule. He will hold on to those scans. So these DTs, they won't really achieve too much. Oh, does get the medevac though. Not bad. Takes down a full medevac. And Gerald is given time, he will be able to take that gold. And now ByuN is contained. ByuN is contained. As ByuN, he's gonna scout. He's gonna, skirt around the edge. He will find the gold. Find what is happening. Likewise, getting to a third CC himself. Still just securing himself, just waiting for or just building up. He has his safety turrets for those Dark Templar. Marine does race down the lane. And ByuN, he will find the ninja base. Does find it. ByuN is now aware.
Complete.
First things first, they're going for the Dark Shrine. And I'll be honest, I don't see Gerald saving this base. It's gonna be difficult. He has what? He has 8 Stalkers. They're racing on over. He has 8 Stalkers. He has a massive amount of Zealots. Storm has begun. ByuN, he's claiming his third. Oh, no scan. Okay. No scan. Gerald taking a fourth. And Gerald doing whatever he can to slow down this push. Oh, okay. As the DT does get out of range. Does survive. Gets a Marine. Gets a Marine. Storm is yet to complete. Healing pad trying to help out. Storm done in 7 seconds. And the army's zoned away. Yeah, just like that, the army is zoned away. This base is no longer for this world. Gerald, he does evacuate their probes at least. Does escape. He will lose the expansion. I was like, oh, that's neat. There we go. Tops up his army. It's like, mate, I can heal up my mech units without pooling boys to repair? That's crazy. Let's go. Tops up his army before moving out. So he does find the Zealots. Does find the charge. Let's rotate over. Storm coming in. It's an okay connection. Likewise, Gerald comes over behind Storm with the tanks. Not bad. Yeah, tanks are getting surrounded, but there's just nothing left. Nothing outside of the Storms. GG gets called. ByuN, he will claim the series. Will take it 2-1, and ByuN will advance on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played, ByuN. He will claim the series, will advance on. And a shout out to Gerald, because again, as I said before, Gerald, as I said before, As I said before, Gerald, he does as we just set some things up, but Gerald, he could have taken the 2-0 here. Like, game 1 was so close. Game 1 was so clutch between Gerald and ByuN. It was very intense. It went down to the wire between both players. Here, game 3 on Persephone, again, just a much more aggressive, much different kind of pace of game, different kind of pace, different kind of style. With that, Gerald, he did overwhelm, and GG, well played. Sorry, ByuN did overwhelm, and with that, ByuN will take the series. With that, ByuN is the first player to make it to the grand finals, and the question becomes, who is waiting for him? Well, we have our lower semis. We have our lower semifinals. Let's go.